Hi everybody, I'm Andy Murray. No inspiration, no time.
And I'm Adam Cleary. We keep getting told off for these news videos taking so much time. So today we simply have not got the energy to come up with anything that rhyme.
This is the news. Let's kick things off with MMA star Phillip Brooks, Chick Magnet Phil, CM Punk. He is coming to Starrcast 3 in Chicago, his home city, on August 30th, 31st, whenever the hell it is. All out weekend, he's going to be there. It was announced last night. Starrcast posted a really cool little video to their Twitter account. It was about 50 seconds long, had a little shot of Chicago all over the place, looking sexy, looking cool, and then Cult of Personality kicking in, and the Chick Magnet Phil himself, brand new promo shot, standing there, looking all happy, all glad to be back. He is going to be doing a one-on-one signing session and some interviews and stuff. It's going to be really cool to see him back in a wrestling sphere, even if he isn't necessarily returning to the ring.
Well, he is obviously, because he's doing Starrcast. This is him officially signing with AEW.
Yeah, confirmed.
Yeah, he's going to be in the main, he's going to hijack the main event.
There's our headline, baby.
That's all there is to it. If CM Punk's working for Starrcast, he's obviously going to be doing something for AEW, which is going to be the headlines between now and then. You suspect, obviously, that's not going to be the case, is it? Like, I think if they were going to have him there, they wouldn't actually announce him for Starrcast, would they? No. They would do something similar to what they did with John Moxley. He was not going to be there at all because he had no involvement with the company, and then they unveiled him as a big surprise.
Filming a movie.
It's a shame because I do really clamour to see CM Punk get back in the ring. I still think at his age he's got a lot to offer the industry. I think it would really give a lot of people a shot in the arm if he came back.
Yeah, I think AEW certainly could do with a star of that caliber and a name and all that stuff. But at the same time, he bloody hates wrestling, and I get the feeling that, you know, in 2039 or whenever, we'll all still be sitting here on this very chair talking about how a 60-year-old CM Punk is definitely returning to wrestling. It's inevitable. He's got to come back. I don't know. I will believe Punk returning to the ring when it happens. Either way, I'm really excited to see like the kind of stuff that comes out at Starrcast, because while I won't be there, obviously, I'll get to see all kinds of cool stuff. We are usual internet content creators. Hook us up, Conrad.
You
good man.
I will say, I know I say this every single time the CM Punk thing comes up because I know what the comments are already going to be like. I did the court notes for that Dr. Ramon trial, and being a pro wrestler did not make CM Punk happy in the slightest. Now, that might be because it was WWE and the schedule was really bad and awful, and AEW could be a lot different, but by and large, I would not be surprised if he never wanted to get back into a ring again. But still, he will be doing talks and signings and whatnot, and I'm sure we'll get some kind of lovely, interesting tidbits. It's just nice to have him back in the sphere, as you say.
Indeed.
I'll tell you what else is good to have back in the sphere. WWE's horrendous show names.
Hey! Great Balls of Fire 2. Greater
You
Balls
thought
of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire could not be outdone, but I come to you with news today that it has been. It's supposed to be a SmackDown house show coming from Nashville, Tennessee on the 27th of July. It's part of the post SummerSlam big tours they usually do, but instead they're gonna do something with this house show. They're gonna do something very special with it. They're gonna have a main event of Kofi Kingston, Samoa Joe, and Dolph Ziggler. They're gonna have Shinsuke Nakamura defending his Intercontinental title against Finn Balor, but more than that, they're gonna broadcast the show under the banner of WWE Presents Smackville. Andy Murray, your immediate reaction to that name? Correct! Now, obviously, a lot of people will be looking at this thinking, Smackville? What the hell is Smackville? Very simple, I've worked this one out. It's a combination of Nashville and SmackDown.
Wow.
So obviously, Nashdown was considered not cool or edgy enough, so we've got Smackville. It's a bit weird, this one, because occasionally they do broadcast these live shows, and we've seen, it's a good idea. You've got the network, you can make sort of the week-to-week, the day-to-day shows a little bit more exciting for the people there and for the people who've got the network. So it's not a bad idea to do this. It's just calling it Smackville is really weird. I can't remember, it was one of the great men did on Twitter last night bring up memories of that Poochie sketch from The Simpsons where they go, it's going to be something like Poochie, but with more attitude. We'll stay here all night if we have to, and you can just see someone in creative going, look, we just need a name. It's like something to do with Nashville and SmackDown, something like Smackville, but obviously better than that. We'll stay here all night if we have to. The door slams shut, and all of creative just go, so everyone all right with Smackville?
Smackville.
Yeah,
Do you reckon you'll start doing this with future house shows, like Smack Diego, Smack Lando,
Smack Angeles, Smack me bitch up. Yeah, the possibilities are endless, aren't they?
When they come to that Texas town of me bitch up. Can't wait for that one.
Me bitch up El Paso.
Anyway, Roadblock.
We can't spend too long on this one.
This is up there with Great Balls of Fire and Roadblock. End of the line with my favourite event names probably ever.
Yeah.
Actually, top 5 dead or alive. Let's move on. Let's get to Shagger Dave and his shagging newsletter, where he was talking, aside from obviously like giving you his weekly update on how his shagging situation is. Dave came through with an update on SmackDown, which is of course moving to Fox in October, and kind of like a reaffirmation of the idea that Fox apparently want to promote SmackDown as a real sport, quote unquote, when it shifts over. So as part of this, they're going to have a studio show on Fox Sports 1 with Renee Young. They're going to do an introductory 1-hour special in September so that Fox viewers can get used to the cast of characters that'll be on SmackDown. And they're also going to feature it as part of like a 4-night sport run with like NFL, college football, some other stuff, some other bits and pieces here and there, other bad sports that give you concussions. It's... you know, I like the idea, I like the sound of it. The idea of promoting wrestling as a real sport is something that hasn't been done in America in a very long time, but it's a stern challenge, particularly given some of the goofiness that happens on WWE. But if they can pull it off, they are geniuses, because WWE is very silly. I like the silliness.
We've heard about this ever since day one when they signed with Fox. That part of the idea was for them to present it as a genuine stats and leaderboards and all this stuff and proper insight and whatnot. And it's all fictional anyway, so you can present it in whichever way you want to. It just depends whether or not it works with the audience. We've not seen wrestling presented this way in so long, and in this sort of post-kayfabe era, I'm not sure whether it'll work as well as it might have done, say, back in the day.
In the 20s.
However, I'm absolutely desperate for some production changes with WWE. I think this could be a real benefit to SmackDown if it works. So yeah, give it a go.
Yeah, why not?
I like stats, and I like leaderboards, and I like tournaments, which are the kind of things WWE absolutely despise the idea of bringing to. So as you say, it could be a bit weird for them to do, you know, this 24/7 championship, for example, but
and then a shoot fight in the next segment.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird how they find the balance between that. But we've seen that, you know, the networks are putting, like, they're imposing certain things. So again, the 24/7 championship was something the network put in, which worked really well. So hey, maybe the best people to produce WWE programming are not WWE. Well, speaking of those goofy segments, I'm desperate to see how a broadcaster like Fox, for example, would disseminate and discuss and break down the ins and outs of Drake Maverick walking around San Diego Comic-Con handing out flyers to find R-Truth dressed as a banana, which is a thing that has literally happened.
A literal banana.
A literal banana. Obviously, we've seen all these skits with the 24/7 championship. They have been a cult success on WWE programming this year, and I think it's fair to say Drake Maverick and R-Truth have been two of the better exponents of this gimmick and this brand.
Yeah.
But yeah, we heard they were going to go to San Diego Comic-Con. We knew some frivolity, some fun was going to happen around that, and it seems that what's happened so far is, and I'll just literally repeat myself here, Drake Maverick is walking around San Diego Comic-Con, handing out flyers, looking for R-Truth while dressed as a banana.
Smart, pretty smart when you think about it. Great way to trial his new El Hijo del Banana Man gimmick over there at Comic-Con. Let's see what comes of this. It'll probably be fun. Right,
I'm dying to get the footage from this.
Yeah,
because I mean the plane was excellent, the golf course was excellent, the wedding stuff was excellent. I have no doubt whatsoever that they will make this banana Comic-Con stuff work. But that's the whole point of the belt, isn't it? They're going to go do crazy stuff with it, and we're going to be like, oh, let's see what they do with this, because it's so quintessentially un-WWE. I like it. I really like
wrestling.
It. Banter wrestling
is better than good wrestling.
Correct.
Let's move on. Let's pivot over to AEW for just a moment. If you watched this week's Road to All Out show, the very first one, you'll know that it was kind of closed off with the sit-down interview between Shawn Spears, the former Ty Dillinger, who wrapped a steel chair, and Jim Ross. Spears, of course, wrapped a steel chair around Cody's head at Fyter Fest, very controversial moment, and they're going to have a match now at All Out. Spears issued the challenge on the Road to show, and then he said he had an ace up his sleeve. I don't have any sleeves, I'm wearing a t-shirt. But yeah, that happened, and then that ace turned up. And it was Tully Blanchard, which was kind of mental. But it makes a great deal of sense. He's actually now signed a multi-year deal. That's the real story here with AEW. A multi-deal, show deal, sorry. With AEW here, they announced it on their official website yesterday. They had all kinds of comments from Tony Khan, other people putting him over. And so they should. I mean, it's a name that shouldn't really need much introduction if you kind of know the first thing about wrestling history. But the significance of this is absolutely massive, because Blanchard was obviously one of Dusty Rhodes' biggest career rivals back in the NWA in the 80s. He's a foundation forming whatever member of the Four Horsemen. He had all kinds of battles and doings with Dusty back in the day. This is a really cool move to bring him in for a match between Cody and Shawn Spears, which is already informed by years of history from their shared time in WWE and the developmental system and stuff. This is what I want to see from AEW, and it's good to have Big Tully B back on the TV.
This is really good, really, really good, but I think the main thing it's going to make me do is miss Dusty. Because if he was around for this and he was in Cody's corner, that would be even better, wouldn't it?
Give me
I'd
that
love
soap
that.
opera,
Don't get me
baby.
wrong, I'm sure the way they'll do it with the fact he isn't there is going to be just as important as if he was there. That sort of gap in Cody's corner, I don't know whether he'll use his brother for that, but it's as you say, it's informed by decades and decades of pivotal wrestling history, as well as the more recent history in terms of how WWE treats its developing stars and what they do after they leave the company. It's big news, but I just really, really wish Dusty was here for that.
And I tell you what, you're going to miss Dusty even more when Cody cuts a promo on the next Road 2 show and he's getting all teary-eyed and he's going through all the history. Look, I love this crap. This is the kind of wrestling I miss. It's big, it's cheesy, it's kind of silly, but it's so, so good. More of this, please.
Do you think this is going to set off any speculation for Tessa Blanchard entering AEW?
I mean, she's under multi-year contract to Impact, which is the boring answer. But she's probably the best women's wrestler in the world at the moment. So sorry, Becky, but
you're not far. If you're wrong, you're not far wrong.
The matches are better than anything going on in WWE.
She made me watch Impact. There you go. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah, great match with that guy.
Oh,
what's his name?
Samoa.
The Scarecrow. Samoa Crow.
Samoa Crow.
That's the one.
That's it.
Good.
Speaking of new gimmicks that we've just invented off the top of our head, you may have noticed Liv Morgan's been in the spotlight a bit lately.
Hey.
I'm a big fan of Liv Morgan. I did sort of say when they called up both the Riot Squad and Absolution at around the same time for no other reason than the Royal Rumble was coming in a couple of months, that they were grossly bloating the women's roster purely to pad out one match, and how they dealt with these stars after when they had to actually give them something to do was going to be a bit of a challenge, and so it has proved, because I think it's fair to say that the four other women in Absolution and the Riot Squad haven't really had a proper fair crack. Obviously, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville have done a little bit here and there, but Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan have not really had a fair crack of the whip, despite clearly being talented wrestlers. Now, Liv Morgan has been in and around. She's been doing various bits and bobs here and there, but we saw on SmackDown this past week she had a match with Charlotte, which you could describe as a squash match. But also, she got a lot of colour in there. She got a lot of spotlight. She did
that thing where
she looked way better than I think we expected her to in a match with Charlotte. And she cut a promo at the end saying maybe Charlotte was right about it. She needs to go away and become more real. And big banter shagger Uncle Dave has confirmed that that is precisely what she's going to be doing. She's going to be taken off TV for a while, and then she's going to be re-debuted with a new gimmick. Now, what this new gimmick is, we can only speculate on. Perhaps the fact that she's from New Jersey and she wants to go away and be real. They're just going to dress her up as Enzo and have her cut loads of promos and shake about and do all that and grow in some really interesting facial hair. Perhaps. Who knows? I've not got a better suggestion at this point, but it's going to be good to see her come back into the fold, get a new gimmick, new entrance music, new everything, set her apart from the Riot Squad gimmick, and see how she performs as a single star. That's good.
Yeah, all those weird Liv Morgan fantasy role-playing accounts on Twitter are going to be delighted about this.
They're going to have to change their avatars.
Yeah, they are, baby. No, this is good stuff. Liv hadn't done anything since she came to SmackDown as part of the Superstar Shake-Up after WrestleMania. She's been sitting around for 3 months. Good little angle on this week's show. I'm fed up with Charlotte. You're kissing ass or whatever she said. They had that match. She got her ass kicked. She's going away. She's going to come back with something new. How can you complain about that? Let's see what happens.
She did look to be the weak link in that stable. I remember vividly that GIF Becky Lynch posted, where she goes after the wrong person in a brawl and then sort of half hesitates and does it anyway, and she absolutely buried her for that. Yeah. This is how much we cringe when you all attempt to wrestle, which... Yeah. As the shoot goes, was nice to see there's potential for it to recover from that in some capacity, although not much.
Yeah, I mean, if she can escape that body bag, she will be just fine. Let's move on. We're going to go a bit corporate here. WWE are advertising for a new role, and the job description is something I don't even know what this is. They're advertising for a director of talent brand management. So I'm going to tell you the job description, and you tell me what you think this actually means. Talent brand management is a division of WWE that has 360-degree oversight of superstars' individual talent brands and is focused on positioning and growing these individual brands inside and outside of WWE platforms. This role will report directly to the Vice President of Talent Brand Management and be part of the brand team. Is this just a Twitter account?
Yeah,
operator.
I think maybe it's going to be the person who looks at all the really bad T-shirts they do and go, no, this doesn't fit your gimmick, and sends them back.
Yeah.
Because they've needed somebody to do that for a long time now. But I mean, I could do this. I could do this.
I've got calculators that could probably do this.
I'm allegedly a manager. I'm incredibly talented and a walking brand. So
whereas I am.
Report.
There's nothing about being bald.
Oversight. 360 degree.
Big ears. It's not there.
Superstar. Individual. There you go.
There we are.
Individual. Key topic.
And I have vices, so vice president.
Should we move on again already?
Let's move on.
So much bloody news today. Yes. This one's a bit of a weird one, but we're getting reports. Gorilla Position have reported that. Sports Illustrated have reported.
Hey!
Sorry, got it right. Sports Illustrated have reported that there is a bit of an issue with 205 Live at the minute. Now, if you've ever been to a 205 Live taping, which
Brian Alvarez.
Was it Alvarez?
Yeah.
Where did Sports Illustrated from?
I don't know.
Brian Alvarez has reported. If you've ever been to an episode of 205 Live or any of the tapings of it, it does tend to empty out immediately after SmackDown. If you're not already aware, they tape SmackDown and then immediately afterwards they do 205 Live, which where the crowds are always a bit emptier and deader, and it's always a bit of a weird vibe with it. But you sort of assume that the production element of WWE rolls on as normal because they are literally producing a TV show to have all the bells and all the whistles and all the organisation of anything else they put on. But apparently that is not the case. Apparently, the entire place empties once 205 Live starts. Gorilla Position, that's what I thought was Gorilla Position, because it's about the Gorilla Position.
There we go.
Gorilla Position empties, the directors aren't there, the producers aren't there, most of the talent just goes home, nobody sticks around to watch it, and that's really, really grim.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a shame that it just shows the kind of general lack of care that's given to this brand inside and out.
However, that is a double-edged sword, because the fact that the producers backstage aren't taking as much of an interest in it means that Vince is having no insight into it whatsoever, which is why if you watch this week's, we got a fairly heated promo and a very interesting segment from Mike Kanellis and Drake Maverick, two men who, as far as Vince are concerned, are A, dressing up as a banana, and B, are a cuck. So it's just,
all right, Trump.
They're getting an opportunity to do things that they actually want to do. I mean, you remember Mike Kanellis' big Twitter rants about how people aren't seeing the work that's going into this, how good the matches are, how good the storylines are, and well, nobody is, by the sounds of it. Not the audience, not the producers, not anybody.
Yeah, and I think nothing sums this up better than this week's main event between Jack Gallagher and Chad Gable. Tremendous match, technical, built on their last encounter, really bruising, really hard-hitting, really great stuff. And nobody made a sound apart from the 5 fans who chanted boring about halfway through as they were trading holds. So 205 Live is in the dumps. It's a really good product. It's just not received as such because the company don't really condition you to do so. It's a shame. Really talented guys doing good stuff. Maybe one day it'll improve a little bit, but for me, most of this is on WWE.
I'd like to spend time talking about the solution to this. Should they put it on the road as a separate show? Should they film it the same way they film NXT? But sadly, we haven't got the time today. Might that make a good editorial? I might pitch that.
That might make a good editorial.
How to fix 205 Live.
How to save 205 Live. Let's move on to Twitter questions. We are probably already at 20 minutes today.
Yeah, how to save this news video.
But what did we do to fix that? Did no rhymes. Good. This one comes in from Adar Singh, regular contributor, who asks, do you think that after SummerSlam, WWE should have a Bound for Glory or G1 style tournament to decide who will face the WWE Champion at Survivor Series? They can call it Quest for Survival or Survival of the Fittest.
Short answer, yes they should, because tournaments are great. It would really freshen up the product. Even shorter answer, no they won't, because Vince hates tournaments.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it.
It'd be cool as hell.
That's why you get the Mae Young and the Cruiserweight away from the main roster brands and they binge King of the Ring. They hate tournaments.
The thing I would love about it is that it would guarantee you like 5 or 6 like cool little spark plug TV matches every single week. But Vince hates wrestling, so
I would love it, but you won't get it.
Yeah. Fantasy booking. If Andy Murray was in heaven, he would put this together. Good suggestion. Joel Henderson asks, here's a challenge for you. I probably should have informed you of this one before, because it's quite good. Here's a challenge for you. Pitch the WWE Universal and main event matches for WrestleMania 36. So 3 matches.
From here.
Well, my main event.
I have done an article booking this. So technically I can just fall back on that. But
go for it.
I can't remember what any of them are now. I think for the women's title I had the 4 Horsemen versus the 4 Horsewomen. What are for the actual ones? Asuka versus somebody? I forget. What do you got?
For the main event, I've got Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey, singles match. Oh, for the Universal title, I really want to have something involving Brock Lesnar passing the torch to Braun Strowman. Let's do that. Why not?
Do you want to have the Universal title?
What was that?
And Seth versus AJ, and then they did it on the very first pay-per-view after WrestleMania.
They read that article and went, hey, screw this guy.
The pitch was you give Seth a year-long run of a series of various different challenges. Like you give him a Joe, you give him a Strowman, and he finds a different way to beat them all by out-wrestling them. And then at WrestleMania, you give him the final boss of that storyline, which is the best wrestler. That was the pitch. Then they just did it at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My
good.
WWE title program, off the top of my head, I don't really have much other than like a Kofi Bryan rematch would be cool, but it's a bloody rematch. What about Kofi holds the belt all the way to WrestleMania, defends it against Big E, but rather than splitting up the New Day, Big E wins the Royal Rumble, but rather than splitting up the New Day, they come together, whatever the result, in a big hug afterwards, and that match continues, because I love the New Day, and I don't want them to split. Final question.
You can have a good match without someone having to be a bastard.
Exactly. Final match comes from Nate Fell.
To Mr. and Mrs. Fell, a son, N8.
There we go. Which legend, and this is a fun one, which legend will squash Elias on the Raw reunion show?
Well, right.
Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan. What are the
It'd
options?
probably be Austin, to be honest. Or, I mean, I know they've already done it, but the idea of Jarrett hitting with a guitar is never going to get old. Oh, one thing I should have said for Smackville, the other thing they've announced is a special musical segment from Elias. So they'll probably do that there as well.
Get back. That would be Jeff Jarrett, Nashville country music.
But they can do it at the Raw reunion as well. I mean, who else? Jericho?
I mean, these are really good answers, but you're absolutely wrong. It's going to be Candice Michelle.
Yes. So, I want to see Jericho hit him with an electric guitar, though, at some point.
Oh, just kill him.
Just kill him.
Just murder him. Elias is dead. Shall we move on to the Amp final?
Yes, you've hyped this up for me.
So the other day it was Mandy Rose's birthday. So someone on Instagram.
Many happy returns, Mandy.
Someone on Instagram has posted this photo of Mandy Rose hanging out by the pool with a hose and stuff. You know,
with a hose?
Doing it, yeah, she's got a hose and it's like spraying water. It's you know, stuff.
Right. It's a Stacey's mom video, that.
It is. There's a nice glowing tribute here from a certain member of the WWE roster who's very fond of Miss Rose, or Mato, whatever her surname is in real life.
Is it Corey Graves?
I'm going to read it to you, right?
Okay.
And I'm not going to do his voice because that'll give it away. And you need to tell me, right, who this is from.
Okay.
I almost did his voice. Happy birthday, party popper emoji, to the most beautiful woman alive, my peach. Peach emoji, all caps, that's what I'm shouting. The day I first saw ye, and every day sparks flew, emotions ran high like an engine. Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from coming to you, babe. Yours truly.
It's someone on the roster?
Yeah.
Who talks like that? I don't know. I don't know, but like you said, oh, can I do it in a voice? Can you do it again? Can you do it in Otis' voice? Or whoever it is.
That's who it is!
No! No, it's not Otis!
Happy birthday! Hey, Mandy!
To keep me from coming! Baby! Wow.
I think she should be filing a restraining order.
Otis posted this.
Yes, he did. Wow.
He's done come in big capital letters, and she's holding a hose as if he were. Oh. Still though, 20,000 likes. Decent number.
Anyway,
let's wrap this up.
Yeah, this is descended into madness. Thank you for joining us on this, 28-minute voyage through news stories that we could have probably covered in 6. I've been Andy Murray. You can follow us at WhatCulture WWE. Send us your Twitter questions, all that stuff. This is him, Adam Cleary.
At Adam Cleary, CLERY.
And you can find me on Twitter at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for...
Hey.
I was going to say heavy machinery, but that'll do. Thank you. Goodbye, Otis.